Hi guys, we are back for another vlog. So this is the stuff I was waiting for to be able to finish setting up my desk. So there's still some stuff that needs to arrive later today. I have to go and pick that up. But for now, I have the monitor arm and the PC. So we're going to be unboxing that together. Là, t'es là à me regarder, tu me stresses.
Mais je regarde.
Tu me stresses. I'm going to put this aside for now because I do need to go and pick up the monitor later, so there's no point unboxing this one just yet. I'm going to start off with the PC, and I'm a little worried because I've just noticed there's a slight hole in the box here, so it's pretty well packed, but still a little bit worried. It's not massive. You can see that there's a piece of airbag here, so hopefully nothing is broken, because there is a part that is made of glass. I'm so excited to be able to start editing my videos on this PC rather than my iPad, because the format, the 4K format of the camera is just so heavy that the iPad, I really can't take it anymore. So there doesn't seem to be any damage to the packaging here, so I think the airbag did its job. Hopefully it's still okay. Don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get nervous when I get stuff delivered. I'm always scared like something's gonna be broken into a million pieces and then they won't take it back, which is kind of ridiculous, but I'm literally so hot right now. We're going through yet another heat wave here in France. It's getting really hard. Next year, gonna be installing an AC unit because it's getting really difficult. So if you see that I look sweaty, it's because I am. So I've been working on iOS for the past 10 years. So this is a big change for me. The thing is, I wanted to get an iMac, but for the same specs as this one, the iMac would have cost me something like 4,000 euros, and I just wasn't willing to get a PC for 4,000 euros. So I got this one, which has actually better specs than the iMac and has a lot of RAM. So this has 32 gigabytes of RAM, and I can still add on, and it has 1 terabyte of storage, which is not too bad. And again, I can keep on adding to that, which is not the case when you're working on Mac. Okay, so far everything looks good. Nothing seems to be broken. I'm gonna follow the instructions and see how it goes. Ah, instruction manuals. It's good news. Okay, so false alert, everything was plugged in correctly, so fingers crossed nothing goes wrong. But this was just a decoy box, so they just took a box and put like the cables in. That's why I got scared. I was like, oh no. So now I'm just gonna go and pick up the screen, plug everything in, and hopefully everything will work. So my friend is gonna come over and check because she's used to doing this kind of stuff, and obviously I am not. Finally got home, and just like the PC, it was time to unbox the monitor. I picked this one up specifically because it has high color accuracy, plus it actually comes with built-in speakers, which is a nice bonus. I'm completely skipping the stand in the box. The stand that comes with these monitors just aren't great. They eat up half the space on the desk and you can barely adjust them. Mounting it onto an arm is just so much better because it floats the screen right where it needs to be and it leaves the desk nice and open. So after completely unboxing the screen, it was now time to unbox and mount the arm. So this was actually a pretty simple process. I thought it was going to be a little bit more complicated than it actually was. Honestly, the main reason I got this arm comes down to pure comfort. I can edit sometimes up to 3 to 4 hours a day, and this is just gonna help me to adjust the screen pretty much to any height, angle, or position I want. Whether I'm sitting up straight or leaning back, I can just glide the display right to eye level. So yeah, it just makes things a lot more comfortable for working long hours. So could I have plugged my PC in myself? Yeah, I do think so, but it's kind of nice sometimes to just have friends drop by and just help me out. Having friends who voluntarily step in like this is something I never take for granted, and honestly the support really means a lot to me. So it didn't take too long to set everything up, at least just the basics of plugging everything in and setting up a few programs. Because I'm trying to respect my work hours a little more, especially when I'm editing, sometimes I can edit really late, so I've took it upon myself to really get better at that. So it being a reasonable time into the evening, it was time to call it quits and go into town. So I met up with the rest of my friends and we sought refuge in a small bar that has AC so we could take a long deserved break from the heat. We ended up stumbling upon a small restaurant that has a courtyard, so we decided that we would eat there. The next day we actually had some rain finally, so temperatures went down a little bit, which was nice, but I was actually feeling quite sick, so I took the day off. By the afternoon I was feeling a little bit better, so I did do some light editing. Also had some moral support to help me out through my sickness. I think I've just been suffering a lot with the heat wave, and it's really taken a toll on me. I feel completely physically exhausted. For those of you who don't know, this is Shelby. She's my second cat and she is 13 years old. I'm gonna have to buy myself one of those racks that you can like bolt under the desk to hold all the cables, because right now it looks like a mess. But for now, I'm just going to use these Velcro straps just so I don't catch my feet in any of this when I sit down. This is not my favorite part. You could never tell that this is obviously not my field of expertise, right? I need to get myself one of those mesh tubes where I can slide all the cables into it, so then it's going to look nice and neat. Also get it in a white color so then it matches the wall, because this kind of looks ugly, but for now it will do. At least it's not a trip hazard anymore. I'm making some progress with my editing setup. The next phase is to change this chair. The one I wanted is still out of stock. And the more I read the reviews, the more I think to myself, maybe it's not a good choice. Some people are saying it doesn't recline properly. So if you guys have any recommendations on desk chairs, if you guys work from home and you have a chair you're really happy with, you can drop it in the comments, because that's going to be such a great help in navigating this whole chair situation. So I still need to get myself a few things. I need to get myself an SD card reader, but in kind of in a hub format that just sits on the desk. This is just easier, so then I can take the footage out of my camera without plugging it in and going through the Sony interface, which is kind of weird to do. I can do it, but it's not practical for everyday filming, so I still need to get that. I need to get the chair sorted, of course, and then I'm just going to get a bunch of cables and small little things for the desk. Right guys, so I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon trying to figure out how to use DaVinci Resolve, which is the new editing program I'm going to use for my upcoming videos. So I have a 5-hour tutorial to watch over on YouTube, and probably after those 5 hours, I still won't know what I'm doing. So guys, thanks a lot for hanging out with me, and I will see you next week for a new video.